their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. A short kick taken at the 18. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And the Seahawks are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. And remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's a give to Jones running left. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They go play action now. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off play action. Floyd. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35.
Oh, boy, you ain't got no feet.
Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit it.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come in and able to bring him to the ground. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Ooh, the juke. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Oh, a heck of a move. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game. That
catch good for only a couple. 2nd down and 8. Now a give, right side. Hawkins.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. And he's going to use his legs here. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Floyd. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And it's a 15-yard pickup. but it'll lead to a 4th down. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Now Jones. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. It's a big play there for Seattle.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. The running on first down is Jones, but he's not going to get much, maybe a couple. And it's 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column. Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Jones going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the #2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ronald Jones. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, it's Hawkins. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Off the play fake. Floyd. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He could not get away that that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be a second down. The give is to Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked.
And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. The gun. Here's Wilson. Man open. Here is Jones. And they will have a first down as they are definitely in field goal range now, down at the 20-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Play action. Now Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. There he goes, right side. 30. 10.
Come on, bring it, baby, bring it.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now Jones. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Now Wilson on first down. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. To throw is Wilson. catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on third. Wilson. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll make it a 2nd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. A check down here to Jones. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Wilson steps away to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Wilson drops it to Jones in the flat, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going, a little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A give to Jones. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ronald Jones His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will tie our game here in the third. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action. Floyd. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. With touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now Jones. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Seattle.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now Jones. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. That's what they wanted out of that 1st down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at him.
And he stopped immediately there.
3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. So they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the 3rd quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Going deep here for Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. His throw incomplete.
And he is such a tough quarterback to defend because you got to remember, arguably, he's more dangerous outside the pocket than he is in it. But how about the job they did defensively to stay with the receiver and knock the ball away? I think they had a sigh of relief there because oftentimes when he gets outside the pocket, big plays result downfield.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And, partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Five yards remain on 2nd down.
They'll go again to Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll try the right side with Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Second down and 7.
They'll try the left side. It's Jones, and he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Tried the hard count, but to no avail.
Trying to do anything to get them to jump off sides and pick up a 1st down easily. Instead, it goes against them.
So a big one coming here for Kaimi Fairbairn. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
29.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Money in the bank, baby.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
Jones with a nice gain there on 1st down as he takes his forward and call it a pickup of 6.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Now Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Back to throw. This is complete to Hawkins. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. He'll look to throw. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Back to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. He's back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now there's the timeout, signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Now Jones. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery. but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
69 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. Just a yard to go here on second down. First throw in overtime now for Wilson.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Off the play fake. Floyd, he's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. So often in overtime, Charles, games are won or lost on one big play. That might have been that big play right there.
And the ability to execute it despite the stakes, because let's face it, we've been there before, and we've seen guys, maybe they hyperventilate a little bit when it's their opportunity. Not in this situation. They executed it calmly, and they really got it done.
And now they're set up in prime position. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Houston, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Jones Shorty.